Most people believe this is impossible. You either build muscle or you lose fat, never both. That idea has been repeated so often that it feels like fact. But it isn't. For years, the dominant belief was simple. To gain muscle, you had to eat big. To lose fat, you had to eat less. And the process meant cycling between extremes. That thinking came from old-school bodybuilding, large calorie surpluses to gain size, then aggressive cuts to lean down for competition. The problem is, modern evidence doesn't fully support it. When researchers looked closely at what actually happens during aggressive bulking, the results were surprising. In controlled overfeeding studies, participants were given hundreds of extra calories every day. They didn't gain significantly more muscle, but they gained multiple times more fat. Most of the surplus didn't build muscle at all. It was stored as body fat. This doesn't mean bulking is useless. There are situations where it makes sense. If your goal is to gain muscle as fast as possible, especially strength, a larger surplus works, but it comes with a cost: extra fat gain. And many people don't actually want that trade-off. What most people really want is something different. They want to look better. They want more muscle definition. Less fat, better performance. And that leads to an important question. What if building muscle doesn't require a large calorie surplus at all? Here's the key idea. Fat tissue and muscle tissue are separate systems. They don't operate as a single switch. Your body can store energy in fat, and it can use that stored energy to support muscle growth under the right conditions. That's where body recomposition comes in. Body recomposition means gaining muscle while losing fat at the same time. Not in theory, in practice. And it turns out this isn't rare. In fact, for most people, it's realistic. Let's look at who recomposition works best for. First, beginners. If you're new to resistance training, your body is extremely responsive. Muscle growth comes quickly, and energy can be pulled from stored fat to fuel that growth. With basic progressive training and reasonable nutrition, recomposition happens naturally. Second, people with higher body fat. If you carry more fat, you carry more stored energy. That energy can be used to support muscle building even while eating fewer calories. You don't need a surplus. You need the right stimulus. Third, detrained individuals. If you trained seriously in the past, then stopped due to injury, life, or burnout, muscle memory works in your favor. Regaining muscle is faster than building it the first time. Recomposition becomes very achievable. Fourth, enhanced athletes. This group exists, but it's not the point. External compounds dramatically change the equation. What matters is this: even if recomposition only applied to these groups, walk into any gym. Most people fit one of them. There's also a fifth group that's often overlooked: the sub-optimized trainee. Someone who's been training for years, but not training hard, not training progressively, not eating or recovering properly. Once training quality and nutrition improve, recomposition often appears, even in experienced lifters. So recomposition isn't rare, it's common. The real question becomes, how do you actually do it? Step 1. Training comes first. Training is the engine. Nutrition is the fuel. You can eat perfectly. You can hit every macro. But without progressive resistance training, muscle won't grow. Focus on progressive overload, proper technique, consistent effort. Most people need around 10 to 20 quality sets per muscle group per week, not random workouts, structured training. Step 2. Choose a primary goal. Yes, you can do both, but one goal must lead. If you're already lean, muscle gain should be the priority. If you carry more fat, fat loss should lead. This decision shapes how you eat, not how you train. Step 3. Eat around maintenance. Maintenance calories are the center point. If muscle is your priority, use a small surplus. If fat loss is your priority, use a small deficit. Not extremes, just enough to support your main goal. Step 4. Protein is non-negotiable. Protein protects muscle. Protein supports growth. Protein improves satiety. A higher intake is especially useful during recomposition. Lean individuals generally need more protein relative to body weight. Those with more body fat can use slightly less. Fats come next. Set a reasonable minimum. Carbohydrates fill the rest to support training performance. Simple, not extreme. Step 5. Optimize the details. As you become more advanced, details matter more. The first one is sleep. Sleep is one of the most underestimated tools for body transformation. When sleep is restricted, weight loss still happens, but composition changes. More muscle is lost, less fat is lost. With proper sleep, the opposite occurs. Fat loss improves. Muscle is preserved. Next is nutrient timing, not magic, not complicated, but placing carbohydrates and protein around training improves performance and recovery, which supports recomposition over time. Supplements can help, but none cause recomposition on their own. A short list stands out: protein powder to hit daily targets, creatine for strength and performance, caffeine for focused, demanding sessions, used strategically. Everything else is optional. These are supportive tools, not shortcuts. So who can't realistically recomposition? A very small group, truly advanced trainees, perfectly optimized training, near their genetic ceiling. For them, progress slows dramatically. Trade-offs become unavoidable. But that group is rare. For nearly everyone else, building muscle and losing fat at the same time isn't a myth. It's not magic, it's not extreme. It's the result of intelligent training, adequate protein, controlled calories, and patience. Recomposition doesn't promise speed, it promises sustainability, and for most people, that's exactly what leads to lasting results. Build the routine. Train with intent. Let consistency do the work. That's how real transformation happens. If you want training advice that cuts through the noise, built on discipline, not hype, and designed for real, sustainable progress, subscribe to Iron Routine. New videos every week, clear systems, no shortcuts. Build the routine. Become Iron.